Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Umi Farhana binti Imran. My ID number 2023136629. We are group of three. My team member is Nur Hazimah binti Abdul Alim and Nur Nadira binti Muhammad. Today we are going to present the subject ISB653 Qawaid Fiqhiyyah Islamic Legal Maxim. The title of our presentation today is Al-Mashaqqah Tajlibu Taysir, which means hardship begets ease. Next, we are moving to the next slide. Our presentation today consists summary, and second, introduction. Third, chosen case, which include the importances, evidences, scholars' view, and application. Fourth, conclusion, and fifth, recommendation. Next, for the summary, today's presentation actually focuses on the Islamic legal maxim, Al-Mashaqqah Tajlibu Taysir, which means hardship begets ease. This maxim is among the 5 major of legal maxim in Islamic jurisprudence that serve fundamental guidelines in Islamic law Sharia. We are going to examine how this maxim is not only a theoretical concept but also a practical legal tool that brings justice, fairness, and compassion in times of difficulty. In this presentation, we are going to show you how we analyzing two real-life contemporary cases, but actually not. We are going to analyze one case only. We are going to present only one case, which in Maiden flood incident, and we are going to show you practical application of this maxim in addressing modern challenges while upholding Sharia values. Next, we are moving to introduction. There are 3 keywords in this maxim: al-mashaqqah tajlibu taysir, first is al-mashaqqah, second tajlibu, and the third is at-taysir. Al-mashaqqah means hardship, tajlibu means begets, and at-taysir means ease. This maxim aims to reduce the burden and difficulties faced by the Muslims in the implementation of Islamic law. The concept of the maxim is when a person faces hardship that exceeds their means, so the law that should be imposed can be simplified or exempted to protect the welfare and well-being of the people. This maxim is one of the main methods in fiqh when Muslims face difficulties in fulfilling their obligation. So the Sharia provides the legal flexibility which is also to ease the burden. This can ensure justice in the implementation of the law. So in addition to avoiding unreasonable burdens on the parties involved, the construct is often used when unforeseen difficulties arise and can affect the implementation. So this report aims to explore how this maxim is applied to issues that have occurred in Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Hazimah binti Abdul Alim. So this is my part. I'm going to explain our choices case is Maidin flood incident. First thing first, the importance from the Maidin flood incident is we're gonna see the incident overview. So on 21 December 2021, during a major flood in Malaysia, individuals took essential goods from the Maidin store for survival, cause they don't have choices to get some necessity daily. So number 2, the importance is public forgiveness. Maidin's owner forgive those who took the item, showing compassion and understanding during the national crisis. Number 3, legal maxim applied. Reflects the Islamic legal maxim, al-mashaqqah tajibu al-taysir, hardship bring ease, the meaning, highlighting flexibility in Sharia during difficult times. So number 4, principle of darurah, necessity. The act of taking item was driven by darurah or darurat, a condition acknowledged in Islamic law to permit otherwise prohibited acts emergencies. So number 5, humanitarian over legalistic approach. This response emphasizes mercy over punishment, prioritizing pupils' needs over strict enforcement. So, number 6 is modern relevance. Demonstrates how Islamic jurisprudence adapts to modern crises, balancing justice with compassion. So next, I'm gonna explain the evidence and source related on these incidents from Quran and Hadith. So from Quran Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah intends for your ease and does not intend for your hardship. This means this verse forms the foundations of many rulings that prioritize convenience and relief in Islamic law. So number 2, Quran Surah Al-Hajj. He has chosen you and has not placed upon you in the religion any hardship. This means this verse reiterates that Islam is not a religion of burdens. So on number 3 from Sahih Bukhari, make things easy and do not make things difficult. Which means Prophet Muhammad advised his companions and followers to make things easier for people, especially in these disasters. So from the scholars' views on the Maidan flood incidents, I'm choose the Al-Shatibi's views. He says Sharia aims to promote benefits and remove hardship, especially during times of crisis, like these flood incidents. Second, Ibn Qayyim's principles: wherever justice, mercy, and wisdoms are upheld, there lies the true Sharia of Allah. So the contemporary interpretations, modern scholars affirms that acts of necessity during disasters are not judged as sinful. Okay, the next part is the related core principle of fiqh muamalat and qawaid fiqhiyah. So in these incidents, number 1 is adil or justice. The shopkeeper's forgiveness promotes fairness and social justice in time of crisis. Number 2, avoiding gharar or uncertainty. The Maitin poses clarifying the possibilities in such circumstance avoid legal ambiguity. So number 3 is halal and haram. The act of taking the goods may be haram, but under necessity and forgiveness, it shifts to halal solutions. Number 4 is mutual consent. Even if consent was not present at the time of taking the goods, forgiveness retroactively fulfills mutual satisfactions. So number 5, al-masyaqqah tajlibu taysir, which means hardship begets ease. The severe hardship like loss of shelter, hunger, no transportations allows the relaxation of strict rules like the prohibition of taking others' property to the extent necessary for survival. So next, the last part of me, I'm gonna explain about the application of the Maxim in the Maidan flood incidents. It means how an Islamic legal principle or Maxim, specifically in principle of hardship begets ease, was used or reflected in a real life situation, which is in this case in the Maidan store flood incidents. So number 1, Maxim in action, which means this demonstrates al-musyaqqah tajribu al-taysir, which means hardship allows for its Islamic law. Number 2, survival over strict law. Taking essential goods during a disaster is not viewed as a thief, but an act of necessity. Number 3, Islamic legal flexibility. Necessity overrides prohibitions, a core principle in Islamic jurisprudence. So number 4, Islamic CSR example, which means Maidan's Act reflect corporate social responsibility guided by Islamic business ethics. Number 5, owner forgiveness. Maidan Maiden's decision to forgive aligns with Islamic ethics of mercy and moral excellence. Number 6, community compassion. Forgiveness helps foster unity, empathy, and emotional relief for flood victims. The last is number 7, justice or adil applied. Punishing the desperate will be unjust. Easing their burden is the just and ethical choices. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nur Nadia Muhammad. Okay, I will continue in conclusion part. Okay, in conclusion, al-masyaqqah tajlib al-taysir is an important principle in Islamic law which emphasizes that when a person faces difficulties that exceed human capabilities. Okay, Islamic law will provide ease and flexibility in the implementation of Islamic law. Okay, these principles show the nature of Islamic justice, which always take into account the circumstances and capabilities of the individual. It also proves that Islam is a simple religion and is very concerned with the well-being of its people. Next, in the Maidan flood case, we can see how this principle provides flexibility in business contract, will also reducing the burden and difficulties experienced by the parties involved. Okay, this principle is not only important in the context of worship, but also in social, economic, disasters management, and healthcare aspect. Okay, lastly, this method ensures that Islamic law is always relevant and practical in facing life challenges. By understanding and applying this principle, the Muslim community can adapt the law to the reality of current life and always prioritize welfare and justice in every situation. For recommendation part, we have 4 recommendations. Okay, first, holistic flood risk management. Flood risk management needs to be done comprehensively and intricately involving various agencies such as the government, private sector, community, and business management such as Maidan. Okay, this party need to work together with disaster management agency to be able to throw up an action plan in advance to deal with flood disasters. Okay, among them, early warning system and temporary evacuation centers. With this management, the impact of floods can be reduced and the difficulties experienced by victims can be minimized, as in the case of Maidan floods. Second, implementation of flood mitigation and infrastructure project. Okay, in this case of the flood, accelerate the implementation of flood mitigation and infrastructure project is one of the good actions, such as the construction of systems to reduce the risk of flooding in high-risk areas. With the increase from this project, it can help reduce the risk of flooding and also reduce the impact on victims like Maidan who are affected. Third, financial support and disaster risk insurance. Support such as providing immediate financial assistance to affected business and encouraging the use of insurance to ease the financial burden after the flood. For example, in this case, flood victims like Maidan need to be given immediate financial facilities to restore their life. This can be done through special financing with no interest or with lower and a moratorium period, such as in Malaysia, the BSN Merenggit Ibanji facility which offer financing up to 10,000 with a 6-month moratorium to ease the financial burden of victims. This financial and insurance support can help reduce the economic burden of victims and speed up the recovery process. Okay, last for recommendation is disaster management education and awareness. Okay, after a flood case like the Maidan flood, community education and awareness are very important to increase awareness among traders and the community about disaster prevention and management measures through training program and campaign. Okay, this awareness can reduce losses and speed up the recovery process for flood victims like Maidan.